Hi, welcome to Thete Gaming. I'm going to start talking about more general things with Dragonflight now, in terms of my initial thoughts. I'm going to start off by saying I do hope, I'm just going to get through this bit quickly. This is literally the start of it. I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff is in the pre-patch and not here, because what has to happen, I alluded to this I think in the last video, is I've now got to go around everywhere just talking to some random people, because these are the NPCs who I guess are going to lead us through Dragonflight. I did the starting zone towards the end of Alpha a couple of times with a couple of characters, and you have to go off and introduce yourselves to them, forming this expedition. And you can imagine this absolute mess. I'm going to show you, it's really bad over here. It's you know, you imagine when the expansion just goes live and you've got a load of players all descending on flying mounts. I've got to talk to a gnome as well. Listen to this. It's a gnome who's up his own arse as well. I can do without this. I can do without it. I should have the option of just killing him and say I couldn't find him. But anyway, you know, you imagine like 50 flying mounts descending on these. No. What people want to do when the expansion goes live is swarm on the new zones like locusts. Yeah, you'll get a few people who'll be making... Actually, the Drakthea Evoker, I suppose you might be able to make it with the pre-patch. Yeah, that might well be the case. But when the expansion goes live, you want to go to the new stuff. And all this is just messing about. And when it didn't take me a long time, but bear in mind, there's hardly any players here. You know, you imagine this on launch day. So I'm hoping this is pre-patch stuff. But what I'm actually just going to go through is some of my general thoughts of what I'm sort of hoping for top cinematic. It's not going to show me the cinematic. I'm just going to go through what I'm sort of hoping for with Dragonflight, because some people may know. So, I mean, I played this game properly for the last time in Legion. That's when I Mythic Raid and all the rest of it. And then I had to stop doing that because work was just going to get a bit too much. Where's Khadgar? What am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? Oh, here we go. Oh, God. Bennett, more flying about. What I then did is I started playing BFA on a casual level, and I was with some old guildies doing a bit of Mythic Plus Dungeons, and that was fine, that was okay. I wasn't a fan of BFA, I wasn't a fan of its systems, I wasn't a fan of... the storyline was really weird because they tried to make out as this big Horde versus Alliance thing, and I will actually say, there might be spoilers here by the way, there won't be too many, but there will be spoilers. This is completely the other way. The Horde and the Alliance are working together again. It's like Blizzard, they're stuck, aren't they? Warcraft is absolutely stuck. Because Warcraft is Horde versus Alliance sort of thing. And yet, I'm really not interested in listening to this. I already know all this. And yet, we have some expansions. They've got to do the Horde versus Alliance thing again. And then they've got to do, oh no, because it's really... Because it doesn't work. Because there's always a common antagonist. So, and the Horde are going to fight against them, and the Alliance are going to fight against them. So they're always on the same side. And it frustrated me, Battle for Azeroth, they tried to make it this big Horde versus Alliance thing, when it's like, yeah, mate, N'Zoth and Ashara are the enemies. We're both going to be fighting against them. We're and you did your final cinematic where Southfang took on Sylvanas was a Horde with the Alliance again. It's not, and I know it's tricky. I get that. It's not sustainable having this constant Horde versus Alliance thing, because you ultimately, from a PvE point of view, work together. And it's one reason why I like MMOs where for PvE there is only one faction. That's it. You're all on the same side, but there is always PvP. All MMOs have a PvP element, all the ones I've played anyway. I am just going to carry on rambling, by the way. Don't expect anything greater than this. But so I then stopped BFA when the casuals inevitably stop playing altogether, which it never lasts. When people come back for the start of an expansion, you know it never lasts. And I potted about a little bit, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like anything about BFA, really. And Shadowlands, you know, I tested Shadowlands out, and there was some really good things in it, Tourgas and all the rest of it. I thought, you know, there's some good stuff here. But the anima sounded to me very much like, you know, an Azerite or a artifact power type mechanic. I thought, I could be doing without this. But, you know, when it came out, played it, leveled up, but then first quest, do some world quests, and I thought, no, I'm done. Now, at the time, I would have been busy with other things as well, but I could have... What stopped me playing it, even though I knew there were some really good features, I really liked the storyline in Shadowlands. I thought it was a great storyline. It was what WoD should have been. What they tried to do in Warlords of Draenor was to say, right, we've done the thing now, you know, all this Warcraft storylines we've sort of completed. You know, Burning Crusade, we finished off the Illidan storyline. Wrath of the Lich King, we finished off the Arthas storyline. Cataclysm, you know, if anyone cared about it, we finished off the Neltharion storyline, right, from Warcraft 2. So we've sort of done that. We need to do something else. They did Mists of Pandaria, genuinely new stuff. I loved it. Not necessarily everyone did. And then Warlords of Draenor, so it's like, oh, you know, we've finished all these storylines, but people like the Warcraft stuff, so we want to bring back all these old characters, but they're all dead. We've killed them all off. What do we do? Oh, yeah, time travel. Oh, no. Time travel, but the problem with time travel is we're gonna change the future of it. No, alternate universe time travel. Oh, my God. So I wasn't keen on that. But Shadowlands does it without being stupid. You get to meet all these old characters that have been dead, but they're supposed to be dead. They're dead. You're in the Shadowlands. It works. It was great. But I still didn't play it just because I thought... But then I came back, and actually my fears were largely unfounded. As a casual player, you can ignore the anima. As it's not ramming it down your neck. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know, the quest lines, the campaign quest lines, were actually engaging. They're really good. Tourgas is good. You know, I like Tourgas. You know, even if you're not doing it for a particular reward, it's just some content you can do solo, whether to hone your skills or just, you know, for a bit of fun. If you wanted, for example, you might queue up for a dungeon one time, or you might just say, no, I'll just do a bit of solo Tourgas. That's great. I'll show you here. So we're on to this now. This is the sort of expedition camp where you're sort of going to start off. And as you'll see, it is very Horde and Alliance working together. In fact, you actually go over to the Horde bit at some point when I can talk to this idiot dwarf. There we go. Do you know, I heard someone say something yesterday in an LFR I was doing, which I'd never really thought of. I'm not of this mind, I have to say. And they described dwarfs as basically just fat gnomes. I thought, well, that's very unfair. But I can also see how people could sort of appreciate that. So I'll tell you where my fear is with Dragonfight. I've not seen anything specific to make me worried that I might not like it as much. Oh, well, let's just kill this and then... I just need to put it on auto... Oh, is it on auto loot? Did I automatically loot that? Because it keeps changing things. Now I've got to try and remember where auto loot is, don't I? I actually can't remember. Because it's in a different place in Dragonflight. They've actually changed some things, which is fine when you know where they are, and less fine. Oh, there it is. That is auto selected. Less fine when you don't know. But I have had form on quitting the game before. So I quit the game early on in Wrath of the Lich King. You know, again, I was a raider, but the second version of Nax was absolutely pants. I literally got to level cap, and then a few days later I'd killed every raid boss in the game. And you go, is that it? Yeah, now we do achievements. Well, that's it. We've killed all the bosses. Now it's just achievement. Yeah. And I thought, no, that's it. So I played the rest of that tier, but then, you know, I told the guild, look, I'll play the rest of this tier, but I'm not doing this. This is crap. And went off to do other MMOs. You know, WoW was dead for me at that point. Bizarre, isn't it? You say that now, you know, Wrath of the Lich King is what killed WoW, but the start of it was pants. So then I quit. Then Ulduar apparently was brilliant, and Icecrown Citadel. Less said about the intervening one, the better. But and I sort of thought, oh, I got this wrong. So I sort of regretted that eventually. Didn't come back though until the end of Cataclysm, when it was Dragon Soul, which is not exactly their finest work. And so I'm worried I'm going to do the same thing. I'm worried that I regret not having played Shadowlands at a casual level, because I think for a casual, it's actually really good. I think there's several things about it that are good for casual players. If I could do it again, you know, if I could go back and sort of, you know, just do those 3 world quests and then see that the rest of it was really good. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, so Blizzard have a bit of a habit of, with new expansions, changing systems. Not thinking to themselves, oh, you know, this didn't work so well, let's change it, because that would be a good thing. But no, just going, right, when they bring in systems specifically for an expansion, they always plan to get rid of them. And I think to myself, right, things like Tourgas was really good idea. It's really good content. And some people may know this. I've only just come back, so I've not really been paying attention to what Blizzard have been saying. I'm experiencing this. What I experience in Dragonflight, in the alpha and the beta, is what I experience. It's not what I've read about. And I just think, well, what if Tourgas was only ever intended for Shadowlands, and there's not an... Obviously, it couldn't be quite Tourgas. I've rescued a pissing gnome now. Oh, my goodness. I don't know why I'm saying that as if I'm surprised. It's... Why am I not... Summon Charger has not... What? How come I don't... It's saying I don't have Summon Charger. This is the character I've copied across. Of course I have my Charger. Where? What's this? What? Where's my Paladin mount? Oh my goodness. Where? It's taken my Paladin mount off me. This is my character from Live copied across. Even the one you make yourself has a bloody... Oh, I've got to find a new horse now. What? Oh, High Lord's right. I can't remember which one I like. We'll go for this one. Actually, I've got that one there. I had another one there. Right, okay, we'll go for the purple one. Purple's no. We need to match. We've got to coordinate-ish. I think have I done... No, I haven't done all the welts. So... I worry that, you know, the things that I think are, oh, Shadowlands is really good. Oh, they've now taken it seriously for casual players as well. I don't know what it's like for raiders. I don't. It might still be pants for that. Although raiding I thought was actually really good in many respects. There were just a couple of things about it. Like the extra work they got you to do was a real problem. You know, the things like artifact power and Azrak, stuff like that. You know, you don't need to get raiders to do stuff like that. They're going to pay the subscription anyway. You know, what they wanted with this extra stuff was something just for casuals that raiders could dismiss. You know, think about what is it that sort of casual players will want. I need to find that dwarf, actually. Let's look at the map, because I'm just... Although I do need to kill more dragons, I need to save someone as well. And I can't remember where they are. They're hung on. They're like hung on a rope somewhere. So there's something, if I recall, like down a pit or something like that. But I can't find it on the bloody map. Oh, it says there. My thumb buttons on this mouse are breaking as well. The other one's on its way today. But, sometimes it's not working. They're just a bit knackered. So yeah, I just worry that Dragonflight, I'll come back for it. Oh, you know, this will be great. I'll do this. I've got the time now. I mean, I technically have time to play it a lot. I just don't have the right times to do anything for raiding, even like heroic raiding. So it will have to be purely casually. I mean, really properly casually. But, you know, I have got the time. Could even do it on a few alts and things. What I just lack... Do I have to... I can't remember if I have to go down for this. I can do it from the top. What I lack is the confidence that I'm going to enjoy this. I just worry... Yeah, I have to go down. That what I'm going to have to do... I don't know why yanking her down with a rope surrounded by lava was better than trying to throw a rope down to her from the top. I'm not actually going to fill out a bug report about that, but that seems to me to be a nonsense. I don't know how to get out now. Yes, I do. Yeah, why did I do that? Why can't I just chuck the rope down from the top and then no one has to go near the lava? Oops, that's the purple one. Yeah, so what I'm hoping for is some sign, and later on I'll probably try a bit of a dungeon, because that's the other thing. Like when I was testing Shadowlands, because I really like the idea of the storyline, and I really like the idea of some of the systems, I didn't actually do any of the dungeons in the alpha or the beta. In the alpha, you couldn't get into them anyway, you couldn't queue up, not enough players. But in the beta, I just didn't do the dungeon. I thought, oh, I'll test, but I'll do as little as I can, so that I experience it all live. Then didn't play it live. Now I come back and occasionally I have to do a dungeon. And now I don't know my dungeon. So I go into dungeons sometimes on various characters, mostly just to get the memories, I have to say, these days. And I find myself with you know, players who know what they're doing. They do all the shortcuts and they rush through and they do all the mad things. And I don't know what they're doing. I don't know the dungeons. You know, I don't know the bosses. I don't know what to do on the bosses other than just beat the hell out of them, which sort of seems to work eventually. And then just wait for someone else to do the actual mechanics. Yeah, so this, I will do the dungeons in this one, so I sort of know what I'm doing. I'm not as precious about it this time, because the Dragonflight storyline, I have to say, is not gripping me. You know, the Shadowlands I thought was awesome. It was an awesome cinematic that introduced it. The Shadowlands cinematic was not an awesome... It was. What happened? Ultimately, what happened? You had this like Watcher type dude who had to summon the dragons back. Why do we need the dragons to be summoned back? I don't know. And I've played bits of this beta and they sort of explained it, and it's like, do I care? Is it? I'm sure they'll come up with some massive threat to everything. That's why the Horde and the Alliance are going to work together again. But it's like, do we care? Is it really that important? And then what happened at the end of it, the big finale, this Watcher to do this thing, and he fell off and he was gonna die, and then Alex Strauss saved him, hooray. And then we think, hang on a minute, we don't care. He's a bloke made of stone, he's fulfilled his purpose. All the other blokes made of stone seem to be dead. Does it really matter? He's just an automaton, effectively. I don't know who he is, I don't care who he is. It's not like she's saved Raden or someone, you know. It's yeah. So the cinematic just didn't do it for me. There was nothing stirring about it. There was nothing exciting about it. The storyline that I've played out so far, the leveling's fine. I always like the levelling, I have to say. Maybe not for the 10th time, which is why I also love the fact that in Shadowlands, you know, you get your character, your second character. Was this in, someone will have to tell me in the comments, was this in all the way through, or is this just something they brought in later? But it's a brilliant idea, and I would absolutely have it in from the start, that, you know, on a subsequent character you can basically say, look, this, in terms of the major quest lines, I've already done this quest line, can we skip it? I'll just do other things. Superb. I mean, Blizzard have massively improved the game for casuals in so many ways. I would never in the past have recommended this game for casuals. I would say, if you want to do endgame raiding, you know, it's superb. I think it's really good. maybe when you play certain hammer wielding specs, you might get a bit frustrated from time to time, but it's a really good game for raiding, for endgame PvE, because the Mythic Plus dungeons are good as well. You know, that's a brilliant concept as well, but not for casual play. But now it is. I would totally recommend it. I just hope that they do the same thing in Shadowlands. I hope that there are some decent systems in here. You know, something like Tourgas. It would have a very different flavour, but ultimately that sort of content that you could solo and you could build up. And I have got confidence there will be something. There's probably people shouting at me going, "They've already announced it, you idiot. Why don't you pay attention?" Well, I don't pay attention. But you know, you can see the Tourgas didn't come out of nowhere. You know, there were things at various points through. You had do I need to even kill these? Yeah, I do. You had in Legion that sort of that training, that I can't remember, that training thing in Suramar, which didn't have much legs on it. You certainly couldn't be doing that through the expansion. There wasn't. Once you'd done it, you'd done it. Oh, knackers, I need to kill that. Then in Battle for Azeroth, they did the islands. It wasn't solo content, but you know, it was this procedurally generated land where you go around to get your Azerite to dull as ditch water. I tested that in the Alpha and Beta, and I did a little bit. Did I do a bit when it went live? I might have had to do one or two. I cannot think of anything more tragic for anyone, casual or serious player. Who was it for? It was rubbish. But then Shadowlands, Tourgas, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to stay. There are other things to kill. But I can see myself, I might just nick the odd one that's in range. I can see myself keep going up, coming down to see someone else just finishing it off. So I'm just going to stay here. So I have every faith that there will be something as well. I don't know what the general community has thought of Tourgas. Hopefully they've liked it as well. Divine Protection. Divine Protection. Oh, am I going to... do you know what? I hate this. I don't know why I triggered that then, because it's dead. Yeah, it's. I hope that Tourgas was seen as successful, so that they don't abandon the whole concept. If they want to make it better, brilliant. But I would be quite happy for something that is identical to Tourgas, but with a Dragonflight flavour. You know, but structurally the same. Go into these things, pick up, because you know, just picking up the extra abilities even is actually fun. You know, getting your abilities, you know, your short-term abilities that just make you like a god as you go through it is really good. Everything about it. There's nothing about Tourgas that I think I would change or that I could think of improving on, other than better cosmetic rewards, because there's some of the cosmetic rewards in it. It's like there needs to be cosmetic rewards. Yes, there's some practical reason to doing it for like your legends and stuff, but that doesn't really give it much in the way of legs. And also thinking about it, you don't want to force raiders to do a lot of it. They don't have to do a lot of it. You know, to get your legendary stuff, you don't have to do a great deal. That's great. That's fine. But you do want casual players to see the benefit in doing a lot of it without being forced. That's the trick, I think, for this sort of content. Encourage people to do it, don't force them to do it. How do you encourage people to do it? Cosmetic stuff, cosmetic rewards, ultimately. Now, can I... But anyway, that's first little ramble there. That's sort of what I'm hoping to see from Dragonflight. And if we see the same basic systems as in Shadowlands, even if the storyline is not really that exciting, I fully you know, the premise doesn't seem that exciting. Maybe it'll warm up, maybe it'll get better, but the basic premise is not selling me. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I only need the storyline to be a pretext for going around smashing skulls anyway. You know, if it can do that, then I will be very happy indeed. And, you know, even if it tells me as soon as I get to level cap, go and do some world quests, you know what, I'll go and do them with a smile on my face while I find this other thing. But those are my thoughts anyway for now. I think I've rambled on long enough. Let me know yours in the comments below. There probably won't be a rep video this week, but there might be. I'm not ruling it out. But there's been a couple of changes, but nothing massive. But I will sort of keep updating with my little journeys as I level up on this as well in some general videos. But thanks for listening. Until next time, I'll see you later.